Excuse me. What's up, everyone? We are live right now. First of all, I do want to apologize. Supposed to have a guest on about half an hour ago. Supposed to do a live interview, but for whatever reason, they were a no call, no show. So, I do apologize. I know everyone was expecting a great interview. We were gonna have a great time, but for I don't know why, I still haven't heard from him. But for whatever reason, he just did not show up without any notice whatsoever. But anyways, we're not gonna dwell on the negative. Yeah. So between probably the last 30, 40 minutes, I've been scrambling trying to figure out. Okay, I got left hanging, but I don't want to leave you guys high and dry. So, after some quick thinking, came up with a new show. I'm just gonna have to go solo for now because there's it's almost impossible just to bring on a new guest with the snap of a finger. So I'm just gonna rock solo. So yeah, as the video title states, how to get a hotel job on the spot! Exclamation point. So yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story about how this was about almost 3 years ago, back in 2016. So I had just graduated college, got my bachelor's from University of Houston. So, of course, I finished school, was trying to figure out what would be the next step in my life. So I just figured, I wanna go out to California, go out to the Bay Area, and check that out, see what the scene is like over there. Because I got some family members in the Bay, but I never actually lived there. I mean, I visited there throughout my life, but they got nice weather. It's a diverse area. I know they have a lot of hotels out there. And oh yeah, so for you guys that don't know, if this is your first time watching the video, I have a bachelor's in hotel and restaurant management. So that was my course of study, and a vast majority of my work experience is in hotels. So, anyways, I go out to California. I'm in my job search, and so as I was looking, so before I left Houston, I worked at a hotel called the Aloft. If you guys don't know that, it's under the Starwood hotel umbrella, but now Starwood has merged with Marriott. But I don't want to make it too complicated if you're not familiar with the hotel industry. But so, anyways, Aloft is the concept of that hotel came out pretty recently. The first one opened back in 2008. So it's a relatively new hotel brand. Caters to the younger millennial crowd. The decoration, the whole vibe of the hotel is very urban, hip, uh, just a young, hip, urban type hotel. So I worked there for over 2 years in the housekeeping department. I came in with no housekeeping experience. I got hired as a houseman. Well, basically, my job was to take out all the trash and the dirty linens and clean public areas. So, and then I started off doing that, and then eventually I moved up. I became a supervisor. So, anyways, I was there for over 2 years. Had a really good run over there, working my way up, getting great experience, learning a lot of new skills. Uh, yeah, just I learned how to take charge and become responsible for a department with staff, with various staff members working under me. So, great experience. So, I mean, I already had that experience at the Aloft under my belt, and I had just graduated with a, hotel management degree as well. So, figured go out to Cali and get a pop in over there. So, anyways, so I'll fast forward now. So, one day I decided to visit the local Alofts in Silicon Valley. There was four I visited, four different Alofts just in Silicon Valley, not too far from each other. They were all within, I'd say, a 5 to 10 mile radius. So, yeah, I just decided one day I was like, let me just print out a bunch of resumes. I'm just gonna pull up, just walk in with my resume, and ask about open job opportunities and ask to speak to the hiring manager. So, I don't remember the exact order of the hotels I went to. I mean, it's really not that important. So anyway, so I pull up to the first Aloft, and then I walk in, resume in hand, go up to the front desk agent, ask them, it's like, good morning. Do you guys have any job opportunities in housekeeping? And then they're like, "Oh, I don't know." They didn't really know, but they gave me an application, paper app, filled that out, and then I attached my resume to the application, and then I asked the front desk person, "Hey, is there a manager I can speak to?" And then they went and got the manager for me. So I just waited in the lobby for a little bit for whenever the manager was ready. And then the manager, they looked over my resume. I mean, I was pretty lucky. I mean, they usually managers are pretty busy throughout the day, but I guess it was slow, so we were actually able to, sit down somewhere in the lobby, and we talked, went over my resume, my application. They asked me about, all my experience, my past work experiences. I told them, I started off from the bottom in housekeeping, worked my way up. And I told them about all the challenges I faced at work with, guests, coworkers, colleagues, just everyone in the hotel, whether it's guests or people I work with. Talked about all the challenges I faced and explained to them the stories about, how I embraced those challenges, and talked about, having quick problem solving skills to get the job done. It wasn't really a super formal interview at all. I mean, it was, in reality, it was a conversation, but I mean, they were really sizing me up. They were really trying to figure out if I was worth considering hiring. But, so yeah, so we had me and that manager, we talked for about an hour, just going over my work history. and also my plans for the future. At the time, I was really aiming to be not a housekeeping manager, but a housekeeping supervisor, which is basically the manager's assistant. So that's what I was aiming for. And at the time, and well, at that job, the manager was telling me, yeah, they're looking for a part-time supervisor and a part-time houseman. So he asked me if I wanted to do like 2 or 3 days supervising and or 2 or 3 days supervising combined with 2 or 3 days of being a houseman. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, that would be cool. Because I'm already very familiar with the brand, of course, because I worked there for over 2 years. So coming to this hotel, I mean, it'd be a pretty easy transition. I'm familiar with how the brand works, how the rooms look, how the how the supplies, how the amenities should be set up and everything. So so yeah, I mean we talked some more and told them, I'm trying to get my foot in the door so I can get even more experience and become the housekeeping manager. So after all the lengthy conversation and all that, we talked about pay, and then I wrote down how much I wanted to be paid, and then he was like, "Oh, we can't." He's like, "Oh, it's too much. We can't pay you that." I was like, "Well, I didn't say it like this, but I was like, oh, in my mind, I was like, this is the Bay Area and Silicon Valley. Like, I can't. I'm not trying to work here for $10, $11 an hour, and the cost of living is super high. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to get a decent wage here." I'm saying all this in my mind. I didn't actually say this out loud to him, but so yeah, I mean, I was telling him like that's a really low figure. He wanted to pay me 10, $11 an hour to be a supervisor slash houseman. Couldn't do it. The number was just way too low. California cost of living is really high. So I mean, I would have loved the experience there, but I mean, I need to get paid too. That's the whole point of going to work, is to get paid, pay your bills. That's a priority for sure. But yeah, he wasn't gonna raise that number at all. And he was set on that pay rate. So I was like, okay, that's fine. And I told him, I'll think about it. I really appreciate your time. Thank you again for taking time out of your busy day to speak to me. Appreciate it. Then he gave me a business card and we parted ways. And hold on, guys. So my phone is really blowing up here unexpectedly. Oh, and I'm gonna put this on mute. Hold on. All right, I'm back, guys. Sorry. But so yeah, the second aloft I went to, maybe only about 3 miles away from the first one. I walked in, did the same thing, had my resume in hand, asked them for paper application, told them very briefly about my work experience and if the hiring manager was available to speak to. Long story short, I met I believe she was the assistant general manager, and they didn't really have a housekeeping manager. They just had a housekeeping supervisor, which was fine for me at the time. So I mean, I met her in the lobby, we shook hands, she briefly glanced over my resume, and then she decided that, we could talk more. So we went outside to the outdoor patio to talk, and we had a great conversation. Same thing like the first hotel I went to. We had a lengthy, detailed conversation about, my work experience, what I did on a day-to-day basis at my previous job at the Aloft in Houston. And I mean, I'm not gonna bore you guys with all the details, but same thing. Spoke to her about how I quickly resolved situations that arose in the hotel. You know, about my work ethic, about going above and beyond, taking initiative, it's being responsible, always showing up to work on time, never missing work. Just it's pretty basic, but you'd be surprised how many people fail to do basic things. So it was a very open, candid, and transparent conversation about my work experience and just who I am as a person and my plans for the future. So she's telling me, yeah, we gotta, they did have an opening. She was saying, if I did work there, I could be supervisor 2 days of the week, and 3 days of the week I can be a houseman, very similar to the previous hotel I visited. So yeah, I mean, she really liked me and what I had to offer. And she wanted to hire me on the spot. Like she wanted me to start filling out like all the onboarding paperwork, like the drug test and background checks and all that. But again, the kind of the breaking point was the pay. And when we finally did talk about pay, it was the same thing. They just weren't paying enough for me. I believe they only wanted to pay me about they only wanted to give me $12 an hour. I mean, again, I mean that's higher. The last offer I got was about 10 or 11 bucks, and they were willing to give me 12, and I'm like, no, still way, way, way too low. Come on. I mean, it's their company. I mean, if that's what they want to offer, that's what they want to offer. That's their right. But if you're gonna be offering that low of pay, you are not going to get the best talent out there. But it is what it is. I mean, I like the opportunity she presented in front of me in terms of the job itself, but the pay was just way too low. So, anyways, I mean, the last two alofs I visited, I mean, it wasn't really eventful at all. Uh, Third place I went to, yeah, I didn't get far at all over there. The front desk person was kind of clueless. I mean, they gave me a paper application I filled out, but the front desk person was like, "Oh, there's no manager you can talk to. Just try again another time." Like they wouldn't even give me their business card or anything, even when I asked. So I mean, I filled out the paper app and just left. It wasn't a good vibe at all. And the fourth aloft I visited, yeah, that wasn't too noteworthy either. I mean, I filled out an application, attached my resume. Uh, yeah, it was a while ago. I mean, I did talk to the manager. The conversation wasn't very long. It was very brief. I mean, they just wanted to bring me on right away without much of a discussion about anything, about their wants and needs or my wants and needs. They just wanted to throw anyone in there. And then, of course, the pay was really low. I don't know. It just wasn't worth my time. But so yeah, mm, that's what I did, and I wasn't even wearing. To be honest with you guys, I wasn't wearing business clothes at all. I had these black slip-on basketball shoes. I was wearing black and one jogging pants, and I was wearing a Chicago White Sox t-shirt. I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys. That's what I was. That's what I was wearing, and I still got out of four hotels I visited. I got 3 job offers. No appointment, no nothing. I just pulled up, walked in there. Asked for an application, attached my resume, asked to speak with the hiring manager, and I got 3 job offers, and I had 2 really good conversations with the hiring managers. And I got 2 managers that really wanted me on board. So, so yeah, I mean, I don't know. Take the story how you want. I mean, I think what everyone can learn is, if you really want something, whether it's a job or anything in life, you can't just sit at home. You can't just wait around. You know what I mean? If you want something really bad, like you gotta show you're serious about it. So in this case, I was really serious about getting a job at the Aloft, or at one of the 4 Alofts. So instead of just, going online, filling out an application, and just hoping that someone will call me, yeah, I took matters into my own hands. Decided I'm gonna print out a bunch of resumes, get in my car, pull up to the hotel, and get that FaceTime with the staff and with the hiring manager. That's what's really gonna set you apart is, you know, physical presence and actually speaking face to face with people. That's what's really gonna get attention, and also having. I think I kind of overlooked this is, having a resume ready. I spend a lot of time on my resume. So once I spent that time and made my resume as well, it can't be completely perfect, but as excellent as I can make it, just having that resume is a great tool to get, positive attention from the hiring managers. So I feel like that resume really made me stand out as well, because when a hiring manager gets that resume in their hand, in their vision, they're just gonna start skimming through. So once they lay their eyes on it, they're gonna see all the key points. So in my case, they saw, in bold letters, housekeeping supervisor, and different accomplishments, accolades, education. I had it all laid out where it made me very attractive to a manager looking to hire a housekeeping supervisor. Just caught their attention right away, like, oh wow, this guy's legit. So yeah, to kind of give you a Cliff Notes version of how to increase your chances of getting a job in a hotel is beforehand, before even showing up, get your resume on point. Make it as pristine as you can. There's plenty of free resume help, like on websites. There's plenty of free websites. If you go to school, someone at your school can help you. Even just ask people in your own social network, friends, family, acquaintances, colleagues, your current manager, whoever. There's so many different people that can help you with your resume. So whatever you want to do, uh, whoever you choose, just get your resume on point. Really take the time to do that. Because once your resume is set, I mean, all you gotta do is make copies and distribute them. And then after that would be, put in the legwork. Now, I mean, depending where you live, if you live in a city where, like, I don't know, like Chicago has a great train and bus system, invest, whatever $10, however much the train or bus is, and just go around town, print out like 50 to 100 copies of your resume, have have a list of references, job references, professional references ready with of course have their full name, email, phone number. So have that ready too. So the two key things you want to have ready before even venturing out there is a resume on point and a list of your references. So that way, when you actually get to the hotel and you get the chance to fill out an application, the application is most likely going to ask you for 2 or 3 professional references. So once you have your own copy of your own references, it's all there for you. You don't gotta like scramble to your cell phone and look for a past manager's email and phone number and all that. So just have that list ready. Have that professional reference list ready. So, so another tip I can give you guys is if you're gonna do the cold approach to the hotel, I would don't do it on a weekend because most hotels are pretty busy on weekends with leisure travelers. So I would not recommend doing that on a weekend. Usually, a hotel would be slow. I would do probably Monday morning would be a pretty slow time where you could get a lot of good FaceTime in with the staff. So what I mean, like, so you don't gotta like try and rush conversation because the front desk person is busy. So I would suggest Monday morning or even Tuesday morning if you decided to do a cold approach at a hotel. That's what I'd recommend. And don't be like me. Wear something nicer than what I was wearing. Don't wear, and one pants. Don't wear slip-on shoes and a baseball t-shirt. Just wear like standard dress pants like Dockers or I don't know, some brand of I'm not familiar with all the brands, but you know what I mean, just standard dress pants, wear some dress shoes, and wear a button up. I would suggest a long sleeve button up dress shirt. And since it's a cold approach, you don't really have to wear a tie. I mean, by all means, if you want to wear a tie, wear one. But you could just wear a long sleeve dress shirt tucked in, of course, and take a shower beforehand. Uh, so yeah, get your dress game on point, get your resume on point, have a list of references, have that ready. You know, brush your teeth, pop an Altoid in your mouth, and walk in the hotel. Have confidence. You know what I mean? Don't like walk in there looking like you don't belong there. You know what I mean? It's like walk in back straight, but like not like you own the place, but just be confident in yourself. Like you belong there. You know what I mean? Like you're not just a trespasser or a beggar. You know what I mean? Walk in there ready to sell yourself is the most simple and best way to put it. You're walking in that hotel to sell yourself, to sell your services. You got value within yourself that can really help this hotel. So it's up to you to put your best foot forward and present to them professionally that, you're that guy, you're that woman that can add a ton of great value to their hotel to make their lives easier, to make their hotel better. So, yeah. And what else? All right, so let me break down exactly what to say when you actually walk up to that front desk and you see that front desk agent or even a manager might be working the front desk. So what do you actually tell them? All right, so I'll break it down. I'll break it down. All right, you go through the automatic doors. You just confidently, slowly approach the desk calmly, and then say, "Good morning," and then they'll reply, "Good morning. How are you? How can I help you?" And then you'll say, "Hi. Let me try and get into character. Good morning. My name's Mark. I'm I'm trying to. This is so long ago. Let me get into character. Hey, hey, good morning. My name's Mark. Are you guys hiring for any housekeeping positions right now?" And then they may know off the top of their head, they may not know. So let's say if they do know, they'll say, "Yeah, actually, we're looking for a housekeeping supervisor right now." And then you'll say, "Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I have experience as a housekeeping supervisor. Where can I apply?" And then they'll either give you a paper application or give you a website to go to apply online. And then you're like, "Oh, cool." And then you'll proceed to apply for the job in whichever medium they have. So if it's a paper application, then of course fill it out thoroughly and then attach the resume. Put the resume on the front of the application because that's really going to stick out the most. that's those are all your highlights. So you want the highlights to be out in front. So always attach your resume right in the front of the resume. Sorry, attach your resume right in front of the application. And then once you're done with filling out the application and attaching your resume, then then you pop the question. So here you go, I'm all done. Is there any, is the relevant, well, don't say relevant, but if it's a housekeeping position, say, hey, is the housekeeping manager available? May I speak to them briefly, please? And then, of course, if they are available, you'll probably have to wait in the lobby for a little bit. But while you're waiting, just kind of mentally prepare yourself to, sell yourself, tell them about your experience and what you can offer them. So when you finally do get that sit down with the hotel manager, you won't be scrambling for answers in your head. You'll be ready to fire. So yeah, and that's what I'll tell you guys to do. So yeah, I know I've rambled on a lot. I just thought of this on the spot. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to get no call, no show. So I had to give you guys something. I didn't want to just give you guys absolutely nothing. So yeah, thank you guys for bearing with me. I know this was just kind of a made up video. I did not prepare for this video at all. I'm just talking off the top of my head, trying to recall events from years ago. But hopefully, you guys were able to get some valuable tidbits that could help you in your careers and in your job searches. So, thank you again. If you guys have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the comments below. And also feel free to email me. You can find my email address in the About section on the YouTube page. But I'll verbally say it for you guys. It is NEPOTISMNETWORK, Nepotism Network at gmail.com. So any questions about this video or any past videos, or any questions at all about the hotel business, please feel free to email me. I would love to interact with you guys. So yeah, that'll do it. We'll see you again soon. Peace.